Y como habíamos prometido, aquí tenemos nada más y nada menos que al fundador de el Desert Daze.
Nada
¿Quién es,
más y nada
Carlos?
menos, nada más y nada menos que Phil Pirrone. Phil, ¿cómo estás?
Hello,
How are you?
I'm okay. How you doing?
We're fine. Where are you now?
Uh, L.A. We're in L.A.
You're in LA. Do you live there?
Yeah, we live in L.A. all the time. People think we live in the desert, but
It's hard to live in the desert, right?
I love the desert. We just don't live there.
Exactly.
We live in L-
Phil, they told us you were gonna answer to our questions in Spanish. Is that true?
Oh boy, hold on. Let me get ready. I'm gonna do my best to answer the question.
Just kidding, just kidding. Did you take any Spanish lessons in high school or something?
I did in high school, but then it just, I unfortunately, my wife is really, really good. Really
yeah.
good.
Okay,
When we were in Mexico City, she got us around. She actually got us around.
cool.
Yeah.
When you guys come
Yeah.
the last time?
Oh man, it's been too long. Last time I was in Mexico was in Tijuana, and it was 2019.
Yeah.
And Mexico City? Were you in Mexico City before?
Yeah, probably 2013, something like that. 2014.
All right.
So it
It's
was.
been a while.
It was
I miss
like
it.
it was like right after the Desert Days first started.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
So this is like the 10-year anniversary, right? This edition.
yeah, yeah.
And how has been the trip?
How has been the trip over? Well, having a festival for so long is, this is something that I admire, because we have some friends here that run festivals, but like small independent festivals, and it's like I admire them as well, because it's like it's a very tough job, and it's.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, well, that's why it's so nice to speak with you today, because, well, we know that it has been like a very enormous job that you have done for so long, and we've never been to the Desert Days, but
This will be our first time.
this will be our first time. But
Amazing.
what do you recall from the very beginning? Like, how did this started? How old were you? And how did the idea start?
Yeah.
Well, so the thing that I really feel the most in terms of the 10-year journey is the camaraderie. And when you were talking about your friend that puts on a festival, that's kind of what I was thinking about, is like the camaraderie that you have with the people that you put it on with. It's very much like, I could only imagine, because I've never gone, but like being in a platoon with someone, going to war with someone, being on a mission with someone that's incredibly difficult and riddled with challenges, and you're forced to overcome those challenges and find solutions to those problems. It bonds you together, so
Yeah.
that's the thing I think about the most, the thing that I'm most excited about or most grateful for with this work, or the thing that makes this work the most rewarding, is getting to do it with those people. So yeah, in terms of your other question, which was, what was your other question?
Well, just yeah. How old were you when you started the
Yeah.
festival, and,
Oh,
and, what, and what do you
right, old.
what do you remember from back then? What do you remember, like, from when you started? You were
The
young.
first edition,
Well,
it's like,
you're still young. We are still young too.
yeah.
But
Not at all, but
we
Young at heart. Young
we
at
don't,
heart.
we don't seem
Exactly.
like we're young. We seem like old people now.
I more than seem like an old person.
No, I was talking about Mario and I, but not you. You look fresh.
Yeah.
You look like you have a lot of energy.
I'm simultaneously full of energy and completely exhausted.
Yeah.
That's how I would describe myself.
We are mirror people. We feel the same here. Yeah.
Dude,
But you
yeah,
have any
it's
favorite edition of these 10 years? I mean, because from the beginning, things change. It's like anyone
Yeah.
has kept your attention. Like you have the most memories, or
Well, okay, so Iggy Pop is the reigning champion of Desert Daze. Sorry to all other fans who have played Desert Daze. But it's true. I mean, it's not true. In 2017, I mean, this set was a baptism. We were all just baptized in the waters of rock and roll.
By Iggy.
He was an angel sent from the heavens. And then the very first year was in 2012. It was 11 days long, and we took over this little roadhouse in the middle of the desert, and we also took over a little motel down the road. And on the front end, they told us, yeah, you could do this, yeah, you could do that, you can, yes to these things, right? We show up, and we had like a coconut water sponsor by the pool, and they're like, you can't do that. We're like, that was one of the things you said we could do, you can have sponsorship activation. And then people were like using it was like a motel, it was like a hot spring motel. So there's all these like natural hot spring pools for people to enjoy. And people were going in the pools, and they were like, you can't have people going in the pools. Like, what? You didn't
Come
know
on.
you couldn't do it. It was a nightmare. It was a total nightmare. So on top of having the festival going on for 11 days, we also had this motel nightmare going on for 11 days, where they would like bust into people's rooms. They're like, why are you in this room? And they're like, I have a room down the hall. This is my friend's room.
This is my room. Fuck off.
It was bad. But that was the first year, 2012.
That reminds me of some friends we have here that they have they are not really friends, but they are like a very, very big shoes brand, and they have a big skate park here, and they won't allow us to have fun. Never. It's like, oh no, you can't skate, you can't do anything, and that what your
the skate park tells you can't skate.
Yeah.
It sounds absurd, but it's like you're putting a festival, and they won't let you go into the water.
It's not cool.
So how many years did you do this festival in that area, in that motel, and that when you were a small festival? It was just 1 year.
One
Never again.
Never again.
Yeah, just one time. And then the next place we were at, it was 3 years. So if this is the desert, we started here, and then we went down here, then we went up here, and then we went like kind of right here. Yeah. So the second location was a little bit southeast, and it was hotter, somehow more hot, and it was a ranch. It was like a private ranch that used to be a fish hatchery. And so there was all these like little lakes, but also some empty lakes. So there's these weird like bowl things that had like crazy wild plants growing out of it. And we're just like, this is wild. And there would be like ducks and frogs and all sorts of things.
Cobras and snakes.
Sure. Vinegaroons and scorpions and all sorts of crazy shit. And we were there for 3 years, and it was really challenging, really sandy, really dusty, but really fond memories of being there. There was a house on site where the crew lived, and I don't know, like there was a ranch manager there that would never do his job. Like the owners would be like, oh sure, he's gonna have all those things cleared and blah blah blah. We go do site visit. We're like, hey, there's like a little river where the main stage is supposed to go. That there wasn't a river there before. That was just ground. There's somehow a river there now. Can we fix that? There's like going to be people walking. They're like, oh yeah. We're going to fill that. That never happened. And my guys are out there, like while we're building the festival, like trying to fill this river hole. And so, yeah, it was challenging anyway.
Wow.
Has any member of the crew ever been bitten by a snake?
We can't talk about it. Technically, we've all signed NDAs from the Snake's attorney. So
All right, all right.
Can't
But now it's in Moreno Beach, right? And what's the appealing of that place? Because we see pictures and we are like
It seems
blown
like-
away, like with the views and the mountains and the lake. And
Seems like an oasis.
yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I mean, I grew up in Southern California, and I had no idea it was there for the longest time. And it's just one of those places. It's a total hidden gem. I mean, it has kind of everything that California is sort of known for, and Baja California too, and parts of Western Mexico. There's like chaparral, tall grass. There's cactus. There's rock formations in the mountains. Yeah, it's kind of like all the things that SoCal is kind of known for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really beautiful, and it's really removed from the two towns that sort of, like, on one side of the park is Moreno Valley, and on the other side of the park is Paris. And you have no sense of those little cities, those little communities. Like, you can't hear them, you can't see them. There's no light pollution coming over the hills. They can't really hear us because of the topography and the way it's all. I mean, I'll put it this way: we had My Bloody Valentine in 2018, and 0 noise complaints from the neighboring community.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
so that should tell you.
That it's
That's
okay.
kind of ironic.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but if you put Ramstein that doesn't have any sense, I think they will hear it that in LA.
Yeah.
Ramstein
True.
is really loud.
But it caught my attention
Yeah.
that you talk about there's no light pollution. Did I hear right?
Yeah.
So you can actually see the stars because Mexico City.
We have any kind of pollution.
We don't have light pollution. This is
Yeah.
like a big bulb. Like the size of
Yeah.
an entire country. So we never get to see the stars because also the sky is so polluted that we never get to see the stars.
Yeah, that's a lot like LA, and yeah. So at Lake Paris, you could see the stars, and it's funny. Like, I describe it as quiet, which doesn't make much sense because it's a music festival and it's obviously not quiet. But if that makes any sense, it's quiet there.
Wow.
It's the vibe.
It's like, yeah, the vibration is very calm.
That's
Yeah.
great. And how do
So
you
we're
guys
bringing
make
Iggy Pop in,
totally?
to disrupt that.
And how do you guys make the lineup? Because we see the lineup and we are blown away because mostly of those bands we played a lot on the radio and are new bands, because sometimes there's like the sensation that there's no new rock or new alternative music, and there's a lot of bands that just need exposure, And I think Desert Daze make it that very well, It's like a very good mixing between the old the old bands and the new bands, and we applaud that because it's really important.
I appreciate that, and I think it's cyclical, right? It's like every 10 or 20 years, rock and roll needs to like die a death, like something happens, like it becomes a parody of itself. It becomes Spinal Tap every 20 years. All right.
It becomes Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah. And how do you feel where it is now? It's like a new path for that, right?
Yeah, and there's so many great bands, right? And if we play any role in that, or we get to facilitate any part of that, fuck yeah. Or excuse my language.
No, you can say whatever you want.
Say whatever you want.
You can.
But yeah, there's a lot of exciting new. I don't know, man. Rock. It's funny. I haven't heard anyone refer to any of this music that I'm thinking about as rock music. Is the funny thing.
Yeah.
Is like it is technically, like Viagra Boys. Is it not rock music? I mean,
It is.
It is. But it isn't. Like it's.
But it's
not
different.
what
It's
you think
new.
of.
It's fresh.
Yeah.
It's rock and roll in a different way, probably.
Yeah. Surfboard.
Yeah.
We see Sleeper Mods.
Yes.
I don't know.
Bad, not good. We have tons of great acts
Yeah.
here.
Black
I mean,
Goals.
it's like this
Bad
is this.
Dad as punk rock is. I mean, maybe some people are going to be very upset with saying that, but
Fuck them.
I think like JPEG Mafia is more punk rock than like you know,
Totally.
I don't know.
Rancid.
I don't know. I was like, a few names went through my head. I was like, just,
Yeah.
you know, don't go
It is.
there.
It is. Yeah. It's.
I
mean,
can get in trouble, you know.
no, it's. I understand, but it's a great lineup. We are very excited. There are some bands that will play here on Corona Capital 2 in November.
Yeah.
So they will come here
oh,
to.
that's a great festival.
Yeah, you should come.
Yeah, very.
You're invited to come back to Mexico City.
Enough to have. What's that?
You're invited to come back to Mexico City if everything at the festival goes well and you can, take some vacations. You'll stay at Mario's couch.
I have a good one.
All right. Perfect.
So Phil,
I like a good couch. I fall asleep on the couch a lot.
At what age did you stop sleeping in people's couches? Or do you still do it?
I've been touring most of my adult life, so I've spent more time on other people's couches than the normal person, probably.
you have a lot of experience.
Yeah, a lot of experience. Yes. If you need tips, just let me know. I have tips.
And Phil, I don't know if you recently saw the Woodstock documentary. Did you see it?
Yeah.
And it's curious because, talking to a person that organizes a festival, I've heard a lot of commentary on this documentary, and well, we've always been in festivals, and some festivals go well, others not so well. There was one here in Mexico that rained so hard that it got canceled because it was a river of mud. It was, I don't know. So how how hard it is when you guys are working. You probably never get to see a band live. You guys are in charge of everything. So how is that been to you in your experience, for over 10 years? How has it been to be in charge of some, such a big festival? Because there must be thousands of people there, and it's a responsibility as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we feel the responsibility of a public servant, we're the sanitation department, we're the Department of Health, we're the Department of Recreation, we're supposed to take good care of everyone. That's kind of our first responsibility,
Yeah.
And there's sort of a hospitality side of that, and there's obviously just a straight up safety part of that, Yeah. That's the most important.
The crowd here is very kind.
We have a crowd here. You cannot see them, but we have 3,000 people outside of this radio.
They're all right. They're all correct. I agree with that. No, but it's true, man. And we're lucky because we have really, really good people on our team that are professionals at the thing they do, In the early days, not so much. There was 6 of us doing everything, not doing anything well, running around like chickens with their heads cut off, no organization.
But that's normal.
Lots of fires.
Yeah.
That's part of the thing. When you start, you don't have the biggest crew or the crew that you wish you had because you simply have no money.
And you trust
don't have
everybody.
money. You have to trust your friends, and you have to learn yourself to do things, and you have to be the health guy, and you have to be the guy that contacts the bands, the guy that books the bands, the guy that cleans the place after the festival.
It's true. It's true. In the early days, we were the people that cleaned the venue afterwards. We're cleaning up the venue after losing money and not getting to see any of the bands we booked. We book our dream show, don't get to see any of it because we're working like dogs. Cleaning up the trash because we can't afford to hire anyone to clean the trash. That's how it started. It's just a blessing that we get to keep doing it. And I owe everything to my friends, that built it with me, which is another thing that's cool about this festival is at the center of it is this family. It started it with my wife. We're co-founders of the festival. And then some of our best friends were the first people to help us with it. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them are still with us today,
Yeah.
Like Bill. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, we don't have festivals, but this company was created that way, Like Fran and I, meet like a friend, and we're still friends and partners, and we are like a family. You know, it's like you're surrounded by the people that you trust, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's wonderful when you get to work on a thing that you love with the people that you love, and then you get to see people who love it. It's very rewarding, and yeah, it makes our jobs more meaningful to us that we get to share it with both our immediate friends and family, and then this extended friends and family. You know, these passengers of Desert Daze, these people that come. Some people have been coming for 10 years now, so that's like,
Wow.
you know, people that were like young adults at the first one, and then they like fall in love at the second one, and now they're bringing their kids. You know, that's like
Maybe they make their kids on the tent. Totally.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Things happen.
And what moves you to make it bigger? Because I think I saw the lineups in the past and now, and they're getting bigger. And I think, and what do you have in mind? You want to make even bigger the festival, or just keep it like a gem in the desert, or what's for the future? You know, what are you thinking about it?
Well, it's always been comfortable. It's always been like a comfortable place. We want that to remain. It needs to grow, just nuts and bolts. It just needs to grow. So there's a lot of people that work on it. It's just, it needs to function, you know?
Yeah.
And so it needs to grow a little bit. But, you know, we don't have any aspirations to become, a 60,000 person festival. I don't think we have anything to worry about. We're gonna have a hard time getting there anyway. You know.
Yeah.
Currently, anyway, we've picked a style of music that's not
that popular,
top in the charts. You know.
Exactly.
We're lucky to have the groupings of people that come to our show. We hope to continue to grow. Lake Paris. That's another great thing about Lake Paris is we could probably double or triple in size before that place starts to feel crowded.
Of course.
So,
yeah, it's big. So
yeah.
No, the desert is fun. I was once to the Coachella festival some years back, and then I went to the desert trip, and it's really beautiful. That's something that I remember like very well. I think I've been to Moreno Beach, not to the beach itself, but I just drove through there. Mm-hmm. Because I was driving I crossed the border in Mexicali and then drove all the way up, and it's very beautiful how the landscape is changing from complete desert, and you go up north and it starts getting greener. It's very I don't know, it's the state of California is something very 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 beautiful, and of course the desert itself, it's amazing.
I mean, I feel the same way about Mexico City, and Valle, and Baja, and the whole like drive down from crossing the border from San Diego, going down through, and then all those little communities and like vineyards and places to eat and stay. Like, it's for me, it's magical to go there and eat. I just eat. I eat so much. I eat everything.
It's
inside.
impossible.
I eat my way through.
And I'm guessing you will have some good food to offer at the festival as well. Well, as of course the bands are amazing, but what about the
amenities? Yeah,
the amenities. What do you have like besides the festival itself and the bands? We saw that there are gonna be some activities on the lineup. We saw. What
do you recommend us also, because we're first?
we are first attendants.
Yeah, and the people that want to go for the first time, what do you think they should do?
Okay, so I got a good one. To start. So the first thing is there's a lamb vindaloo wrap at the Indian food vendor, and they've been with us for years. And I gotta tell you, man, this lamb vindaloo is like a legend. People like we'll post like Tame Impala's headlining and playing Lonerism, and someone will comment, but will the lamb vindaloo be there? You know what I mean? Like that's how
that's even bigger than Kevin Parker.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Yes,
all right.
That's true.
Okay,
so that's one. And then once you've eaten that, you're good. You're no longer hungry. There's a newly expanded area anyone that's been to the festival before is probably familiar with our domes. We've had a growing dome area for several years. It started with 2 domes, now it's 3. And so we're expanding that. It's called Domelandia now because it's just bigger and more domey. And there'll be lots of that's where all the alternative stuff that you were referring to will be.
All right.
Talks, screenings, DJs, that sort of stuff.
And for sleeping, what do you recommend? Do you recommend a tent? You recommend what's the best? Do you think?
The best way to do Desert Daze is camp. You know, it depends on you. You know, we have RV rentals, we have Airstream rentals, and tent rentals, or you can bring your own. I'm an RV guy myself. I like an RV. I like having a setup, and then you know, the campgrounds are pretty cool at Lake Paris. It's not like a big open field. It's like a state park, so they're all like loops that have parking spaces for your vehicle, and then bathroom buildings with like permanent, like 24-hour access to hot showers, running water. It's not a porta potty. It's a porcelain flushable toilet.
That's important.
It's really important.
I mean, at a festival, that's luxury, right? I mean,
Totally.
you know,
At a festival, that's true. It's a luxury, and it shouldn't be. It's like it is a normal thing, you know.
yeah. I mean, you know, a lot of people will do festivals in the middle of nowhere in a field, and you have no option but to bring in these temporary facilities, right? And the nice ones are really expensive. So we're really, really, really lucky to be at Lake Paris. And like the park rangers, they have like the really young, you know, training park rangers maintain the restrooms all weekend. They're like restocking the toilet paper, and if the toilet gets clogged, they fix it. It's
Amazing,
great. It's unheard of.
amazing.
Oh, we love the people that work at the park. People that
Amazing.
work at the park are so nice. They're so cool. There's such a sweet culture there. Like we pull in, we're like, oh, hey, we're here to see the main ranger, and we'll like drop his name, and they like light up. They're like, oh, awesome. Yeah. You know, like, I don't know. It's like people with
Yeah.
that are upbeat and have a good attitude. It's nice. Anyway.
That is so awesome, and you know the Moreno Beach itself looks like an amazing place. And how long have you been doing the festival there?
This will be the 3rd festival. It would have been the 4th.
But pandemic,
if we were able to do one in
fucking
2020.
COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Whatever. It just happened, and that's it. So Phil, we have
3 out of 4 ain't bad.
exactly. So we have another segment of this interview that will be a little bit more fun,
Or
less
Okay,
technical.
that was no fun.
a little less boring.
So
Yeah, we're not having any fun.
Yeah, this is a quick section of stupid questions, and just answer whatever comes to mind. Is in Spanish is preguntas cómodas, that translates to comfortable questions. ¿Estamos listos, Pablo? Okay, so it's merely stupid questions. Just ask whatever comes to mind. Okay.
Okay.
First one is, what's on your Spotify?
I don't know. I have to look. I'll tell you the last. Oh, Cortex was the last thing I played. Yeah, I'm getting in the mood. I'm getting in the Desert Daze mood. As you can see here, we're getting in the Desert Daze mood. Anyway.
Amazing. Okay, next one is, did MTV kill rock and roll?
They killed something. They killed somebody's cat. Did they kill rock and roll? No. A lot of things. Like I said earlier, every 10, 20 years, rock has to kill itself.
Okay, cool. Next one is, who's got the best hairstyle, Donald Trump or Boris Johnson?
I'm going to go with Boris because, you know, it's effortless. You know, there's no effort involved. It's just he woke up like that, and it's what it is. And where Donald Trump, I'm sure he's in like a chair for like an hour with the Aquanet. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck all that. You know, it's like, just wake up, be you, just be you. You're a terrible person. Just be you. Be authentic. You know.
Amazing. Okay, next one is what you prefer better, inner speaker or lonerism?
That's a hard question. Depends. I like them both. I'm not giving.
This year is better in a speaker.
Not getting myself in trouble. Yeah, this year it's lonerism. It's the year. It's the year of lonerism, my friend.
Okay,
But that
great.
wave house, that inner speaker wave house thing. I mean, not like I need to promote it. People know how great it was, but it
Totally
was great.
Great albums.
Okay, next one is what do you prefer better, 90s or 2000s?
90s.
What do you prefer better, Queens of the Stone Age or Caius?
I'm gonna lose some points here, but Queens of the Stone Age.
What do you prefer better, Lollapalooza or Coachella?
Coachella.
Eric Andre or Sacha Baron Cohen?
What was the first one?
Eric Andre or Sacha Baron Cohen?
Oh, that's hard. That's really hard. They're both brilliant. But if I had to pick one, Sacha Baron Cohen.
Okay, what do you prefer better, Harry Styles or Dua Lipa?
I have to say Dua Lipa because I haven't really heard Harry Styles. Harry Styles. Henry or Harry?
Harry.
It's Harry, right? It's Harry. Everyone in the world knows. I know. It's not that I don't know. Sorry.
You don't have to know.
I have a 6-year-old daughter who hasn't quite discovered Harry Styles yet. But she has discovered Dua Lipa, so Dua Lipa.
Cool. Yeah, you don't have to know. You can say I don't know, and it's fine.
I do know. I'm not trying to be Mr. Cool.
Yeah.
That's a great answer as well.
No, I'm a dad. I'm very uncool. I know about Harry Styles, and whatever Harry Styles, from what I gather, is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I don't know. I don't really know.
Okay, next question is what you prefer better, Nardwuar or Howard Stern?
Nardwuar.
Ren and Stimpy or Beavis and Butthead?
Beavis and Butthead.
Okay, now what's worst, Grammys or Billboards?
Like the award show?
Yeah. Well, the whole concept.
Well, I can't say anything about Billboard, so I guess Grammy. I'll get in trouble if I smack on the Billboard. You know? They'll be like, demote him in the algorithm.
No, it was us that asked the question, so it's our fault. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. I can just tell them to take it up with you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're safe.
Okay, next one is overrated or underrated, legal weed.
Underrated. Everyone. Yeah. No. I mean, I don't get me started. There are obviously some issues in the commercial aspect, and there are growers that are getting messed up in that transition. And that's unfortunate. And I have friends who are experiencing that right now. But I think it should absolutely be legal. It's just, when you legalize something, and we're on our way there with psychedelics, is when it starts to get commercialized, something gets messed up for some of the true, underground pioneering people. Anyway.
It seems that what sucks is
legalize it.
The process of legalization is what sucks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, next one is overrated or underrated, guitar solos.
Overrated.
Vans shoes.
Underrated. I mean, I have a pair of Vans shoes I got 5 years ago. That's the pair of shoes I wear. So there you go.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So we'll ask you to record some IDs for the radio station, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
First one is, hey, this is Phil Pirrone from Desert Daze Festival, and why the fuck aren't you listening to La Bestia Radio?
La Bestia Radio.
La Bestia Radio.
Okay, this is okay. I think I got it. All right. Go?
Go.
This is Phil from Desert Daze, and why the fuck aren't you listening to La Bestia Radio?
Amazing, man. And
Sorry.
would you like to record like a message for our listeners, inviting them to the Desert Days?
Yes, sure.
Go on.
Go ahead.
This is Phil from Desert Daze. It's Phil from Desert Daze. You're invited to Desert Daze. You should come to Desert Daze. Desert Daze is September 30th through October 2nd. Tame Impala is playing Desert Daze, and they're going to play Lonerism at Desert Daze. So please come to Desert Daze.
Amazing, Phil. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time, Phil. So see you soon. We will be there to
We'll be
cover
there.
the festival. And
We'll be there doing